There are things that people don't understand. Don't say that it may be the love is because of money. No money. I said 5 months my son was born, I couldn't get a ticket to come back home. In short, the money, a friend in UK was the person that even complete my money for her when she was in the hospital because no money from me. So it's not love about money. The kind of person I am, or righteous person that I am, how did you find me worthy to give me this woman? So guys, I want to share an emotional story, and the reason why I want to share this story is because I think this story will impact on people's lives. So many people will learn from it. I've been wanting to share this story for long, but sometimes I say no, it's not yet time. And today, while I was sitting here, I said no, let me share this story. So because the story just came to my mind, and then I was just trying to figure it out. I said, Goiglet, should I say it now? Should I say it now? Then at the second thought, I said, yeah, say it, because this is time for you to say this thing, because a lot of people, will learn from it. Now, you guys know that I have a son, and he's from Austria. He's Austria-Nigeria. Though I have him before I even married my wife. So when I came down searching for a wife, I told my wife everything. She said, as far as I am open to her, she will be open to me. And for being open to her from the beginning, she said yes when I engaged her. And the moment she said yes, she accepted my son as hers. There are something in this story, especially women, to listen to, because this story is something that, believe me, I don't know if 99% of women will do this. The reason why I say 99%, normally I would say 100% of women will never do this. But for my wife to do it, it shows there are 1% of women that are going to do it. 6 months after we met, we got married. So the first year, my wife was pregnant. Then her pregnancy was around 4 or 5 months. So I came down to Nigeria. The day I wanted to leave Austria, so my son gave me something like this. He gave me something like this, exactly something like this, with his picture. About 4 of them with his picture, yeah? So when I came down to Nigeria, I very small, something like this. I think some are even smaller than this, but 2 are exactly like this, but the other ones are small. So me being someone that have conscience, so I wasn't sure if I should bring them out. Don't forget that the first day my wife met me, she called me her husband. The second day, the third day, I confirmed her, my wife, engaged her, so moved back to Austria, and 6 months after, we got married. So when I was coming back with that pictures, those 4 frames, yeah, so I was like, no, I don't need to. I wasn't sure, should I bring it out or not? I don't know my wife well then. We are still learning ourselves. So I was just trying to be conscious, because I don't want to hurt her. I don't want to make her feel typical Nigerian way. Feeling like, you have child, you want to show me that you have child. And, being a Nigerian woman, they will say, he has a son. So it was really terrible for me. So what I did was, I left the 4 frames inside the bag that I came back with, yeah? So I pulled everything out, I took everything out from the bags, and then I left the 4 frame underneath of my bag. So after staying, I think I stayed about 1 month plus, so I moved back. Now, when I moved back, so one day, after like 1 week, my younger brother went to my house, and to pay visit to my wife. Then my wife is still, I think the pregnancy was around 6 or 7 months then. She was then pregnant with Chimobi. So after like 1 week I left, so my brother went to see my wife. And then those 4 frames that I left inside my bag. One was like this, just exactly like this. One was like this, one was there, and 2 of them was inside our room. Because that when I left, those pictures wasn't there, because my brother was in the house when I left. So that those pictures wasn't there. So he called me, he said, that he saw Ugochukwu's pictures in the sitting room and in our room. Am I the one that asked my wife to put them in? I said, no. I was shocked. I said, no, I did not do that. No, I did not. Don't forget that I was still in the process of learning my wife because we did not date. We never dated. You can imagine somebody that you saw just the first day she saw you, she called you her husband. The second day, you confirm her. You took her to your uncle, to your senior brother. So we are still in the process of learning. So when my brother said that, I was shocked. I said, God, who am I? Who am I? I don't really want to say much then. So I said, okay. So after period of time, I didn't call my wife to ask her that because I don't really want to mention anything that has to do with my son. I never want to talk about it with my wife. I never want to, I don't want it to be a discussion because for me, I'm just trying to make sure that my wife don't feel bad. But, in short, this story is very, very interesting. Believe me. Now, so I left everything. I did not call my wife. I did not even discuss it with her. So after, I think my wife, about a month from my wife to, put to bed. Yeah. So someone visited her, someone who is very, very dear to her. So she saw those pictures of my son. And she said to my wife, why will you put this picture? Why will you allow this picture? Because that person thought I was the one that put them anyway. So that person was asking her, why will you allow those pictures? Who is that boy? My wife said, he's my stepson. No, my wife doesn't even call my son stepson. My wife could call direct. She would say, that is her son. So the lady said, your son, okay, which kind of your son? Then the lady said, so that means your husband has a son before he got married to you. Then my wife said, yeah, of course. My husband's son is my own son. But the person told my wife, now you are about to put to bed. So, and a lot of people will visit. Why can't you take all these pictures out? Because people will come and then they'll ask questions. I wasn't there, guys. I wasn't there when this discussion was going on. So my wife told person, anybody that come into this house and ask me about this boy, of course, my answer will be he's my son. Then the person said that, but all of them know that this is not your son. She said, my husband's son is my son. So that person tried to convince my wife. My wife said, please, if this is the reason why you come here, you can as well leave. So that person later left. My wife called me and said to me, see what happened. Don't forget that story. This story is something that, don't forget, I barely know my wife. 3 days after we met, I confirmed her, my wife, I engaged her. Now, don't forget again, the first day that she saw me, she called me her husband. Now, we are in a process of learning ourselves, and these things are happening. So, it shows that what I saw, because there is something that I saw 2 days before, that 2 days after we met, that made me to say, this is my wife. That is a story for another day. So now, my wife called me and told me what happened. And don't forget that I have not yet called my wife about what my brother told me. So that moment when she told me that, then I was like, it's Ugochukwu pictures. Who put them there? She said, you left it inside your bag. I wanted to repack the bag. I saw them there. So I decided to put them, in the sitting room and two in our room. Brother, I was speechless. Being a Nigerian man and being a typical Igbo man, I know what it means that a man has a son and you, the woman, you have not yet have a child. You are married into a family, not yet have a child, and you taking that boy. Oh God, this is emotional, guys. You as a Nigerian woman, seeing that child as yours, even when people who are very dear to you, we are trying to tell you, do you know the implication of what you are doing? You stand still and you are trying to tell them, you know what? The day my husband told me that he has a son, the day I accepted him from the beginning, I accepted that his son. I was quiet for a long time. She was like, are you there? Are you there? Hello, hello, hello. I intentionally called the phone. So, I sat down. She was calling, but I didn't pick. I sat down and then I said to myself, God, I am a, oh God, no matter my sins, the kind of person I am, or righteous person that I am, how did you find me worthy to give me this woman? My DOP always say, why do I always say, whosoever find wife, I go to obtain favor from the Lord? He doesn't know the story. The last time my DOP said to me, oh, boss, I think you have, what did you say? How did you say?
You have to make you
ambassador
to this Bible portion.
Yes. This is what my DOP said. You can also hear him once again behind the camera. He said that this part of quotation in the Bible, where they said, whosoever find wife, find good thing, and obtain favor from the Lord, I should be made ambassador of it because I always use it. But people don't know why I'm using it. Sometimes when I see people talking about my wife, saying sort of things, I laughed. If you are a man, if God bless you with my kind of woman, believe me, you will not suffer. I remember a friend of mine, when I was still struggling in UK, he came down to Nigeria. He saw my wife. When he came back to me, because I have some stuff that I asked him to, give my wife. He said to me, bro, the first time he saw my wife, when he came back, he said, bro, your wife does not deserve. She doesn't deserve to suffer. You need to make money. That woman doesn't deserve to suffer. What he said, already I knew before he even said it, because I will say a lot of story about my wife so that people will understand the kind of wife, the kind of woman that God brought to me. Even though that I'm the worst person for me, I feel like I'm the worst human being on earth. But that being said, one good thing about me is I have conscience. What I cannot do for my wife, I will never do it for anybody. Let me continue with that story. So I sat down. After thinking about it, I said to myself, God, why? Why me? Why me? So after I called her back, so I said to her, Nwa, I don't know what to say, but all I have to say is, how did you put that in? I was feeling like this is not good for you. She said, why? I was feeling like I don't need to bring them out. She said, why? The day I accepted you is the day I accepted your son. If I don't want it, then I will say no. Now, after the conversation I caught, I was like, God, thank you so much. I said to myself, may Almighty God continue to bless people that saw my wife before me, that did not see that potential in her. Sometimes, that you will meet a woman and you don't know the potential that woman has until you lose that person. I said to myself, from that day I said, God, I bless the day I saw my wife. Even though that my wife from beginning, don't forget, when I saw her, I wasn't meant to marry her. Even when she called me her husband, I was like, this girl, are you crazy? Don't forget that the first day I met my wife, after I met her, I went behind her to see her girlfriend. While I was waiting for her girlfriend, my wife came there unannounced. She asked me, what am I doing here? I said, no, I came with my friend. And then my friend wanted to see somebody, so that's why I was here. So she said, immediately she entered the car. That was the second day. The second day. And then she entered the car. Already I was waiting for her girlfriend. So you can understand it, because I never wanted to marry her. For me, because seeing her, she's not, because of course I came down to to look for a wife, but she's still, for me, she's 22. She just left school, 21 plus, and I don't want anybody that just left school. I want somebody who is working. So I just wanted to play with her and then move. So she caught me already. She entered the car, so we left. That was the second day, and that was the day I went to their house, and that was the day I confirmed her my wife. So you can imagine what happened. I saw her the first day. I went behind her to go and pick her girlfriend. She came unannounced. She saw me there. I was like, what is going on? She entered the car. That was the day I confirmed her my wife. The third day we had to nail my village. And now let me continue. So I said to myself, God, why me? Why me? Why this blessing from nowhere? From nowhere. I don't know this girl from Adam. We have not, dated. Just 3 days I met her. We spent 1 week plus again before I moved back to Austria. So now, after that, then she gave birth to Chimobi, and it was very, very tight that time. The situation was very bad for me. I was in UK that time, no job, no nothing, struggling. It was tight. The situation was bad for me. So Chimobi was born September. So September, I was planning to come back, but no money. November, nowhere. December, nowhere. January, nowhere. February, I met my friend. I begged him. A friend of mine, I begged him. So later on, he gave me money to buy ticket. I decided to come home for 2 weeks. So what shocked me, now another story, what shocked me was, my wife has already gave birth to Chimobi, her own son now. So when I came back, I came to my house. What I saw, I shed tears, to be honest. Because, I swear to my living God, no Nigerian woman, I'm not disrespecting anybody, no Nigerian woman will do this. I said, I swear to my living God, no Nigerian woman will do this. I will start saying story about my wife because a lot of people don't know Jenny. When I see people trolling her on social media, when I see people saying so many bad things about my wife on social media, I laughed. But I think it's time for me now to say my story about my wife so that people will see that this woman, I said once again, no Nigerian woman will do this. I came back from London, came to my house. Chimobi was born already. Don't forget that Chimobi was born in September. So I came around February 2011. He was born September 2011. So I came around February 2012. So about 5 months after Chimobi was born. So already then, my wife has already made enlargement of Chimobi. She made already. So now she has her own child. Don't forget that my son, my Austrian son, has his own frame that he gave to me, while coming back those days, that my wife, decorated in the sitting room. So now she has her own son. She went and enlarged Chimobi's picture. Something like this. She put it, let's assume, somewhere like this. God. This is where this story will shock everybody. My wife went and do this for Chimobi. As she was doing it for Chimobi, my wife took one of the pictures from this small frame of my son, Ugochukwu. She did something like this too. Guys, she put one like this, Chimobi here, Ugochukwu here. Who? I step in, you can imagine. No money, because people will say if there is money, you say this love is for money. There are things that people don't understand. Don't say that maybe the love is because of money. No money. I said 5 months my son was born, I couldn't get a ticket to come back home. In short, the money, a friend in UK was the person that even complete my money for her when she was in the hospital because no money from me. So it's not love about money. Now she did 2 frames, one for my son, one for Ugochukwu, one for Chimobi, one for Ugochukwu. I came in from UK. The moment I entered the house, what I saw, because you have to enter through the sitting room, I saw it, I was shocked. I was like, God. Whew. Brothers and sisters, to be honest, if you have a good woman, you don't know what God has done for you. When I said that this woman came to my life changed, people don't know. When I said that this woman is the reason why I am who I am today, people don't know. When I said that whosoever find wife, find good thing, and obtain favor from the Lord, people don't know. That verse is made for me. It's made for me. Guys, I want to stop this story here. I will bring more story about my wife Just follow me if you're watching from YouTube. I want to show you guys that no matter what you think about women, there are women that you can never believe exist. My wife is one of them. Follow me on Ugoiglet Evangelist Nemzi YouTube channel. Follow me here, subscribe guys, because I will bring a lot of story. Now it's time for me to show the world who my wife is. Because even me, I don't know who she is. Maybe if I share her story, somebody who is smart and wise enough will explain to me how I manage to have this woman. Sometimes when people say, you are lucky to have this woman, because they are looking at the outside. They are looking at, the face, the stature. But they don't know. I did not look at the face. When I saw her, my wife is so young, very beautiful. I did not look at the face, because the face and the stature, I saw it. I wanted to hit and run. But I saw inside. After 2 days, I saw something inside her. I will tell you guys that story. And I will tell you guys, for me to say, I saw a woman after 3 days, I confirm her my wife. You need to ask me, what is that thing that I saw? Man, this channel is for you guys to stay quantum. Subscribe so that whenever I drop, you'll be first to be notified.